Elvis Presley, widely known as the King of Rock and Roll, was one of the most influential cultural icons of the 20th century. Rising to fame in the mid-1950s, he became known for his deep, soulful voice, electrifying stage presence, and blending of musical genres. He revolutionized American music and pop culture, contributing significantly to the mainstream popularity of rock and roll. Beyond music, Elvis also had a successful career in film and was admired for his charisma and style. Despite his fame and fortune, Elvis's later years were defined by health problems and personal struggles. By the mid-1970s, his physical appearance and performances showed signs of decline. He suffered from multiple health issues, many believed to be connected to prescription drug abuse. His once energetic stage presence became sluggish, and his weight fluctuated dramatically. On August 16, 1977, Elvis Presley was found unresponsive in the bathroom of his Graceland mansion in Memphis, Tennessee. He was rushed to the hospital but was pronounced dead later that afternoon at just 42 years old. The official cause of death was cardiac arrhythmia, although toxicology reports later revealed high levels of prescription medications in his system. Elvis's death shocked the world, and fans gathered outside Graceland in mourning, with his funeral drawing in thousands of people, highlighting the deep emotional connection many felt to him. His passing sparked widespread discussion about prescription drug abuse and the pressure of fame. His legacy lives on through his music and films, cementing his status as a legend long after his time. John Lennon was a founding member of the Beatles, one of the most iconic and influential bands in music history. Known for his sharp wit, political activism, and very personal songwriting, Lennon was not only a talented musician, but also a powerful voice for peace and social change. During the peak of his career, he was a symbol of hope and artistic freedom. After the breakup of the Beatles in 1970, Lennon pursued a successful solo career and continued to advocate for causes such as world peace and human rights. On December 8, 1980, John Lennon was shot and killed outside his residence at the Dakota, an apartment building in New York City. Earlier that day, Lennon had signed an autograph for a fan named Mark David Chapman, who would later return that evening with a gun. As Lennon and his wife returned home from a recording session, Chapman fired 5 shots, hitting Lennon 4 times in the back and shoulder. He was rushed to the Roosevelt Hospital, but was pronounced dead on arrival at the age of 40. Chapman remained at the scene and was arrested without resistance, and Lennon's death was a devastating shock to the world. News of his passing spread quickly, and fans around the globe mourned the sudden loss of a cultural icon, with millions gathering together in major cities. His death prompted renewed discussions about gun violence, celebrity safety, and mental health. John Lennon's influence on music, art, and activism continues to be felt decades later. Freddie Mercury was the legendary frontman of the British rock band Queen, celebrated for his incredible vocal range, flamboyant stage presence, and songwriting. Mercury became a global icon whose theatrical performances and powerful voice set a new standard in rock music, with him embracing a bold and unconventional persona that captivated audiences worldwide and helped redefine what it meant to be a rock star. Mercury's creativity and charisma made him one of the most beloved and influential performers of the 20th century. By the late 1980s, rumors began to circulate about Mercury's health, as he became increasingly private and reclusive. Though speculation about his condition was widespread, Mercury chose to keep his diagnosis secret from the public for years. On November 23, 1991, he released a statement confirming that he had AIDS, a disease that was heavily stigmatized at the time. Just a few days later, on November 24th, Freddie Mercury died at the age of 45 from bronchial pneumonia, a complication related to AIDS, at his home in Kensington, London. His death sent shockwaves through the music world and brought renewed attention to the AIDS epidemic, which was still largely misunderstood and underfunded in the early 1990s. In the aftermath, his bandmates and fans honored his legacy through tributes and charitable efforts, including the Freddie Mercury tribute concert for AIDS awareness in 1992. Mercury's influence continues to resonate through generations of artists and fans. His legacy continues not only through Queen's timeless music, but also in the ongoing fight against AIDS. Tupac Shakur was one of the most influential and iconic figures in the history of hip-hop, known for his powerful lyrics and exploration of social and political issues. He rose to fame in the early 1990s, being viewed as a legend in the rap community. He was celebrated not just for his music, but also for his charisma, activism, and ability to give voice to the struggles of black communities in America. He was a poet, actor, and outspoken critic of injustice, which made him both beloved and controversial. On the night of September 7, 1996, Tupac was shot multiple times in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas, Nevada. Earlier that evening, he had attended a Mike Tyson boxing match and was later involved in a physical altercation with a man in the lobby of the MGM Grand Hotel. Hours later, while riding in a car driven by Death Row Records CEO Suge Knight, a white Cadillac pulled up beside them at a red light and opened fire. Tupac was struck 4 times, including twice in the chest. He was rushed to the hospital and placed on life support, but despite efforts to save him, he died 6 days later on September 13, 1996 at the age of 25. Tupac's death shocked fans around the world and intensified the East Coast-West Coast rap rivalry that had been escalating throughout the 1990s. His death remains officially unsolved and has fueled countless conspiracy theories. The loss of Tupac was deeply felt across music, culture, and activism, and he became a martyr-like figure. Decades later, his work continues to inspire and influence generations of artists and fans. The Notorious B.I.G., also known as Biggie Smalls, was a groundbreaking rapper who helped shape the sound of 1990s hip-hop. Known for his deep voice, smooth flow, and vivid storytelling, he became a leading figure on the East Coast rap scene, with many viewing him as one of the most respected and beloved artists in the genre. He was also a central figure in the East Coast-West Coast hip-hop rivalry, often seen in opposition to Tupac. On March 9, 1997, Biggie was shot and killed in a drive-by shooting in Los Angeles, California. He had been in the city to promote his upcoming album, Life After Death, and attended the Soul Train Music Awards. Just after midnight, while leaving a Vibe magazine after-party at the Peterson Automotive Museum, Biggie's SUV was stopped at a red light when a black Chevy Impala pulled up beside it. An unidentified gunman fired multiple shots, striking Biggie 4 times. He was rushed to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center but was pronounced dead shortly after at the age of 24. His death, coming just 6 months after Tupac's, sent shockwaves throughout the music industry and deepened concerns about the deadly feud within hip-hop. Like Tupac, Biggie's death remains officially unsolved, contributing to speculation and conspiracy theories. Life After Death was released posthumously to critical and commercial acclaim, and Biggie became a legendary figure in rap history. Steve Irwin, famously known as the Crocodile Hunter, was an Australian wildlife expert and television personality who captivated global audiences with his fearless approach to interacting with animals and his enthusiasm for wildlife education. He became beloved for his catchphrase, "Crikey," and his passion for conservation, dedicating much of his life to protecting endangered species and educating the public about the natural world. Irwin also ran the Australia Zoo, continuing his parents' legacy of wildlife care. On September 4, 2006, while filming a documentary titled Ocean's Deadliest on the Great Barrier Reef, Irwin was fatally injured by a stingray. During a break in filming, Irwin decided to snorkel in shallow waters to capture footage for a separate segment intended for his daughter, Bindi's show. As he swam above a large stingray, the animal unexpectedly struck him with its tail, piercing his chest with a barb that punctured his heart. Despite efforts from his crew to save him, Irwin died shortly after the attack at the age of 44. His death stunned fans around the world and led to an outpouring of grief. Tributes poured in from celebrities, conservationists, and political leaders alike, highlighting the deep impact Irwin had made through his work. His unique style of wildlife education made nature exciting and accessible, especially to younger generations. Following his death, Irwin's family, specifically his wife Terry and children Bindi and Robert, continued his conservation mission. Steve Irwin's legacy endures through the continued work of his family and the millions he inspired to care for the natural world. Heath Ledger was an Australian actor known for his versatile acting abilities, intense performances, and natural charisma on screen. His critically acclaimed portrayal of a conflicted cowboy in Brokeback Mountain earned him an Academy Award nomination and solidified his reputation as a serious and gifted actor. He was beloved for his commitment to his craft, often diving deeply into complex and emotionally demanding roles. On January 22, 2008, Heath Ledger was found dead in his New York City apartment at the age of 28. In the months leading up to his death, Ledger had been immersed in one of his most challenging roles, playing the Joker in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. The role is physically and mentally taxing, and in interviews, Ledger spoke of insomnia and emotional strain during filming. An autopsy later revealed that Ledger died from an accidental overdose of prescription medications, including painkillers, anti-anxiety drugs, and sleeping aids. Ledger's sudden death shocked Hollywood and fans around the world, and the tragedy sparked a renewed conversation about mental health, the pressures of being a celebrity, and the dangers of prescription drug misuse. When The Dark Knight was released later that year, his haunting performance as the Joker was met with overwhelming acclaim. He was posthumously awarded the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor, honoring both his talent and his profound impact he had left behind. Michael Jackson, known as the King of Pop, was one of the most influential and celebrated entertainers in history. Rising to fame as a child with the Jackson 5 and later achieving solo superstardom, Jackson transformed pop music and performance. He was known for his innovative music videos, electrifying dance moves, and his unmatched voice talent. Jackson became a global icon, breaking racial barriers in the music industry and gaining one of the largest fan bases in the world. In 2009, Jackson was preparing for a highly anticipated comeback concert series titled This Is It, which was scheduled to take place in London. The rehearsals were intense, and he was under significant pressure to deliver a flawless performance. On June 25, 2009, Jackson was found unresponsive in his Los Angeles home. He had suffered cardiac arrest and was pronounced dead later that day at the age of 50. The cause of death was acute propofol and benzodiazepine intoxication administered by his personal physician, Dr. Conrad Murray, who was later found guilty of involuntary manslaughter. Jackson's sudden death sent shockwaves around the world. Tributes poured in from fellow artists, political leaders, and millions of fans who mourned the loss of a cultural icon. Public memorials were held globally, and a massive televised service was watched by an estimated 1 billion people. While Jackson's later years were full of legal troubles and controversy, his death sparked a renewed appreciation for his musical legacy and artistic contributions. His influence on pop culture, music, dance, and fashion remains immense, and even after his passing, Jackson's impact continues throughout his music and the countless artists he inspired across generations. Whitney Houston was one of the most gifted and beloved vocalists in music history. Known for her incredible range and emotional performances, she became a global superstar in the 1980s and 90s. Houston broke numerous records, becoming one of the best-selling music artists of all time. She also found success in film, which showcased her talent in acting. Her voice and presence made her a cultural icon, admired for her beauty, grace, and vocal excellence. Despite her professional success, Houston's personal life became increasingly troubled in the 2000s. She struggled with substance abuse and a shaky marriage to singer Bobby Brown, both of which were heavily covered by the media. These struggles affected her public image and her ability to perform at the levels fans had once celebrated, but still, there was hope for a comeback, and she remained a deeply admired figure. On February 11, 2012, Whitney Houston was found unresponsive in the bathtub of her hotel room at the Beverly Hilton in Beverly Hills, California. Just hours before she was scheduled to attend a pre-Grammy Awards party, she was pronounced dead at the age of 48. The official cause of death was accidental drowning, with heart disease and cocaine use listed as contributing factors. Houston's death sent a wave of grief across the music world and beyond, and fans and fellow artists mourned the loss of a voice that had defined a generation. Her funeral was broadcast live and watched by millions, and her legacy continues to resonate around the world. Paul Walker was an American actor best known for his role as Brian O'Connor in the Fast and Furious film franchise. He became widely beloved for his portrayal of the charismatic, street racing undercover cop, a role that helped turn the series into a global phenomenon. Off-screen, Walker was admired for his down-to-earth personality, philanthropy, and love of cars and marine biology. His charm made him a favorite among fans worldwide, especially within the car and racing communities. On November 30th, 2013, Paul Walker tragically died in a car accident in Santa Clarita, California. He had been attending a charity event for his organization, Reach Out Worldwide, which was raising funds for victims of Typhoon Haiyan in the Philippines. After the event, Walker took a ride in a Porsche Carrera GT, driven by his friend and business associate Roger Rodas. While driving at high speed, the car lost control, struck a light pole and several trees, and burst into flames. Both men were killed instantly. Walker was 40 years old at the time of his death, and news of his death sent shockwaves throughout Hollywood and devastated fans around the world. His co-stars expressed deep sorrow, and production on the 7th film in the series was temporarily halted. Walker's passing not only affected the film industry, but also left a profound void in the charitable work he had been so passionate about. In his honor, his family continued his humanitarian efforts through the Paul Walker Foundation. The emotional tribute to him in Furious 7, including the song See You Again, became a touching farewell. Paul Walker's legacy lives on through his films, his foundation, and the impact he had on fans and loved ones. Robin Williams was a beloved American actor and comedian known for his unmatched energy, improvisational brilliance, and the humanity he had brought to both comedic and dramatic roles. Rising to fame in the late 1970s, Williams quickly became a household name. He starred in a wide range of successful films and even won an Academy Award. His ability to blend humor with emotion made him one of the most respected and cherished entertainers of his time. Despite his public persona as a source of joy and laughter, Williams privately battled depression and addiction for much of his life. In the months leading up to his death, he had been experiencing a rapid decline in his mental and physical health. He was misdiagnosed with Parkinson's disease, but it was later revealed that he had been suffering from an aggressive and little understood neurological disorder called Lewy body dementia, which severely affected his thinking, memory, and behavior. On August 11, 2014, Robin Williams was found dead in his home in Paradise Cay, California, after taking his own life at the age of 63. His death shocked fans, colleagues, and the world at large, prompting an outcry of grief and reflection on mental health. It sparked widespread discussions about depression and the pressures faced by public figures. In the aftermath of his passing, tributes flooded in from across the globe, celebrating his legacy as a performer and as a person who brought laughter to millions. Robin Williams left behind a legacy of unforgettable roles and a deeper awareness on the inner battles many face, even behind a joyful smile. XXXTentacion, born Jahseh Onfroy, was a rising star in the world of hip-hop and one of the most polarizing and influential artists of his generation. Known for his emotionally raw lyrics, genre-blending style, and deeply personal music, he quickly gained a massive following. His music often explored themes of depression, heartbreak, and personal growth, resonating especially with younger audiences. Though controversial due to legal issues and a troubled personal life, Onfroy was widely regarded as a uniquely talented and introspective artist with the potential for long-term impact. On June 18, 2018, Onfroy was shot and killed in a robbery outside Riva Motorsports, a motorcycle dealership in Deerfield Beach, Florida, and he was only 20 years old. While leaving the dealership in his BMW, he was ambushed by two armed men who blocked his car and fatally shot him during an attempted robbery. Surveillance footage and witness accounts later helped identify and arrest multiple suspects. Investigators revealed that the attackers had been tracking him for some time, and the killing was premeditated. His death sent shockwaves through the music world and among his massive fanbase. Despite his controversies, Onfroy had begun to show signs of personal change and expressed a deep desire to grow as a person and artist. His passing was widely mourned by fans, fellow artists, and public figures who recognized his artistic potential and emotional influence. Juice WRLD, born Jared Anthony Higgins, was an American rapper, singer, and songwriter known for blending melodic hip-hop with emotionally vulnerable lyrics that touched on heartbreak, mental health, and addiction. Juice WRLD gained a massive following, especially among younger listeners who connected deeply with his openness and introspection. His freestyle ability and genre-defining style helped redefine the sound of modern rap, and he was seen as one of the most promising voices of his generation. On December 8, 2019, Juice WRLD died after suffering a seizure at Chicago's Midway International Airport. He had just landed from a private flight from Los Angeles. Federal agents and local authorities were waiting to search the plane, suspecting it was carrying contraband. During the search, Juice WRLD reportedly ingested multiple Percocet pills in an attempt to hide them, which led to the seizure. He was rushed to a nearby hospital but was pronounced dead shortly after arriving. He was only 21 years old. The official cause of death was later ruled an accidental overdose of oxycodone and codeine. Juice WRLD's sudden death shocked fans, peers, and the music industry at large, and his passing reignited conversations about drug use and mental health in the music world, specifically among young artists. Despite a short career, Juice WRLD left a powerful legacy through his music, which continued to resonate after his death, and his influence continues to shape the sound and message of a new wave of hip-hop and emo rap artists. Kobe Bryant was one of the most celebrated athletes in basketball history, known for his extraordinary skill. Over a 20-year career with the Los Angeles Lakers, he won 5 NBA championships, earned 18 All-Star selections, and became one of the league's all-time leading scorers. His work ethic, often referred to as the Mamba mentality, inspired not only athletes but millions of fans worldwide. Off the court, Bryant became a businessman, philanthropist, and storyteller, even winning an Academy Award for a short film. On January 26, 2020, Kobe Bryant died tragically in a helicopter crash in Calabasas, California. He was traveling with his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, and 7 others to a youth basketball game at his Mamba Sports Academy. The helicopter encountered heavy fog and ultimately crashed into a hillside, killing all 9 people on board. The loss was sudden and devastating, especially given the presence of children and families among the victims. Bryant was 41 years old at the time of his death, and the news of his passing shocked the world. Fans, athletes, celebrities, and leaders from all corners of the globe expressed deep sorrow, and murals appeared almost overnight, with tributes pouring in at NBA games, and a public memorial being held in the Staples Center, where Bryant had built his legacy. In the years since, Bryant's legacy has continued to grow through his contributions to the sport, his advocacy for women's basketball, and the powerful example he set of determination and excellence. His death left a void that is still deeply felt in the world of sports and beyond. Chadwick Boseman was a highly respected American actor, best known for his powerful portrayals of iconic black figures, and for playing the superhero T'Challa in Marvel's Black Panther. Boseman was widely admired for his dignity and talent, becoming a symbol of pride and inspiration. On August 28, 2020, Chadwick Boseman died at the age of 43 after a private 4-year battle with colon cancer. He had been diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer in 2016, which later progressed to stage 4. Despite undergoing surgeries and chemotherapy, he continued to work tirelessly, filming several major films, while keeping his illness hidden from the public. His death came as a shock to fans and colleagues alike, as very few knew of his condition. The news of his passing sent waves of grief across the world, and tributes poured in from fans, celebrities, and world leaders, all honoring his legacy and the impact he made in such a short time. He was posthumously nominated for and won numerous awards for his final performances. Boseman's death highlighted the importance of health awareness, specifically for young black men, and sparked conversations about perseverance, legacy, and representation. His life and work left a profound mark on cinema and culture, reminding the world of the power of art and the quiet heroism of strength and silence. Thank you very much for watching this video, and if you learned something, make sure to leave a like, comment down below your thoughts on anything I discussed in this video, and subscribe if you would like to see a part 2 or more videos like this one. Thank you again, and goodbye.